The origins of Boo Hill. A young boy, Thomas, was walking through town with a bouquet of flowers, headed towards the town cemetery on Boo Hill. As he reached the gate of the cemetery, Thomas noticed his grandpa was waiting just inside. "Thomas, my boy," Grandpa greeted him. "Hi, Grandpa," Thomas cheerfully said. "Are you ready to see your grandma?" his grandpa asked. Thomas nodded. "Well, let's go then," Grandpa said. They began to walk the pathway cut through the cemetery and up the steep hill. Grandpa turned to Thomas. "Have I ever told you the origins of Boo Hill?" "No, Grandpa," Thomas replied. "Well, it started when settlers from the east began to move out west to live out the American dream," Grandpa began. In doing so, the settlers were disrupting the lands occupied by the natives in the area. Early one morning, a young native named Whispering Wind was caught near a settlement with supplies that the settlers were missing. The men from the settlement gave chase, all of them falling far behind except for one. A young man, Jonathan Grant, continued the chase. Seeing Whispering Wind running up the side of a large hill, Jonathan raised his rifle and fired, striking him in the back. Falling to the ground, Whispering Wind clawed his way up the hill. Jonathan followed the bloody trail he left behind and was gaining ground quickly. Reaching the top of the hill, the young native stopped. Jonathan raised his rifle once again, aiming it at the back of Whispering Wind's head. "You've breathed your last," Jonathan shouted. The young native closed his eyes and opened his mouth. Taking a deep breath, he exhaled, releasing the last of his breath into the ground he lay on. Jonathan pulled the trigger, spraying skull fragments and brain matter all over the ground. Stepping over the lifeless body, Jonathan walked to the other side of the hill, looking out over the lush valley below. Hearing the rest of the settlers finally reaching the top of the hill, Jonathan motioned them over. The group stared out over the valley in awe when Jonathan declared, "I think we're home." "Let's go tell the others," another settler said. When they turned around, the body of Whispering Wind was gone. Grandpa stopped walking. "Are you okay, Grandpa?" Thomas asked. To be continued.